Everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're tuning in because we are looking at something so incredibly practical today. We're exploring a daily wellness habit that is so simple and so accessible, you can literally do it right now while you're listening to me. No special equipment, zero gym memberships, and absolutely no complicated routines required. Today is all about realistic health tips, the kind of practical, everyday advice that actually fits seamlessly into your crazy, busy life. So let me just ask you point blank. Are you looking for a new daily health habit? And honestly, are you kind of tired of health advice that tells you to completely overhaul your entire life schedule? I know I sure am. Sometimes the whole wellness space can just feel so overwhelming with all its extreme demands. But what if I told you that one of the absolute most effective things you can do for your everyday well-being is just a tiny micro movement, something that takes a couple of minutes, really helps center your focus, and actually has deep roots in traditional practices? Okay, let's dive into this. Let's jump into section 1, a surprising daily exercise. When we hear the word exercise, our brains usually jump straight to sweating it out on a treadmill or lifting heavy weights at the gym. But the definition of exercise is really just any bodily activity that boosts our overall health and fitness. And today, we're looking at something that totally redefines what a daily exercise can actually look like. Just take a look at this visual we pulled straight from our source material today. Over on the left, we've got a close-up of a hand, with the opposite thumb pressing right into the center of the palm. And paired with this super simple action are two pretty bold claims: type of exercise and for diabetes. Now, that is a massive claim, right? It literally makes you stop and go, wait, how on earth is pressing my hand an exercise, let alone something tied to a complex metabolic condition like diabetes? Honestly, pairing a quick hand movement with chronic disease management sounds a little bit like a magic trick, doesn't it? Almost too good to be true. But here's where we need to look past the flashy phrasing and actually dig into the science of what's physically happening. We're obviously not talking about a heavy cardio workout here. What we are talking about is an intentional, highly focused physical action designed to trigger a very specific physiological response in your body. And that response? Well, it plays a massive, very real role in how we manage our overall health. And what this brilliantly illustrates is the concept of acupressure. Just think about the idea of applying targeted manual pressure to specific points on your body. Now, acupressure is an ancient traditional practice, sure, but it is completely backed by our modern understanding of the nervous system. Your hands are literally buzzing, densely packed with nerve endings. So when you apply firm, steady pressure right to the center of your palm, you're sending direct signals straight up to your brain to kickstart the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your body's built-in rest and digest mode. It's a completely science-backed way to promote deep relaxation and wellness, just by using your own touch. All right, moving on to section 2, decoding the palm technique. Let's actually decode this step by step so you can see exactly what the mechanics are and why this works so well as an everyday tool. Looking closer at this visual, notice the exact placement. They aren't just randomly rubbing their hands together. That thumb is placed super deliberately, right smack in the middle of the palm. In reflexology and acupressure, this specific spot is known as a major tension release point. By targeting this exact center, you're zeroing in on a massive hub of nerve connections. It's a tiny micro movement, yes, but that precision is exactly what makes it so incredibly effective at triggering that calming response. So breaking down the mechanics, it really comes down to 3 super simple elements. Number 1, that precise thumb placement right in the center. Number 2, applying moderate pressure. Now, it shouldn't hurt, but it needs to feel firm and intentional. And number 3, which is totally key, the stationary hold. You're not massaging it in circles, you're just holding that pressure steady. That steady hold is exactly what tells your nervous system to just dial down the stress. And the best part? It's so accessible. Literally anyone can do this, no matter their physical fitness level. Now, I want to be crystal clear here, because on this explainer, we are all about realistic, trustworthy health tips. What we're looking at is a simple wellness habit. It is absolutely 100% not a medical cure. When our source links us to diabetes, we really have to look at that through a lens of scientific reality. Massaging your palm does not magically lower your blood sugar. It doesn't replace insulin, and it definitely doesn't replace a healthy diet. But what it does do is lower your stress. And as we know, lowering stress is an absolutely vital, scientifically proven part of managing pretty much any chronic condition. Which brings us right into section 3, realistic diabetes management. Let's talk about how a micro habit like this actually fits into the real world. Let's contrast these two ideas. On one hand, you've got this micro exercise, the palm massage, the quick burst of stress relief. And on the other hand, you've got the traditional routine, standard medical care, testing your blood sugar, taking your medication. Guys, These are not competing ideas. They are complementary tools. Traditional care manages the actual physical mechanics of a disease, but the microexercise manages the psychological and neurological stress that can make the disease so much harder to control. High stress releases cortisol, which actually spikes your blood sugar. So managing your stress literally is managing your health. And that's exactly why this full visual is so fascinating. Look at the whole picture. On the left, we've got the palm technique, but on the right, we see a woman engaging in her standard care. She's holding what looks like a lancing device or an insulin pen. The true picture of daily health management actually requires both halves of this image. It takes the diligent, necessary medical routines on the right, completely supported by the foundational, stress-relieving mindfulness habits on the left. It's all about building one holistic, completely realistic routine. So let's quickly highlight the real, scientifically grounded benefits here. What actually happens when you take a minute to do this? Well, first, it promotes immediate relaxation. It physically lowers your heart rate and signals safety to your brain. Second, it is ridiculously easy to do anywhere, at your desk, on the bus, watching TV, wherever. And third, it forces a mindful pause. In our crazy, fast-paced world, just taking 60 seconds to stop, press, and breathe completely interrupts that cycle of chronic stress. And honestly, that alone is a massive win for your everyday health. Just think of this technique as one single piece of a much bigger puzzle. It's just one tool in your toolbox. True health isn't about finding some magic bullet. It's really about stacking these small, manageable, effective habits, like this one simple palm press, on top of each other to build a truly resilient, healthy lifestyle. It's all about the power of starting with just one actionable step. All right, let's get into section 4, your daily action plan. Okay, time to move from theory to practice. I don't just want to tell you about this, I want you to actually experience it with me right now. So let's try it out. Step 1, just open up your non-dominant hand so your palm is facing up and totally relaxed. Step 2, take the thumb of your dominant hand and press it firmly right into the dead center of that open palm. You want steady pressure, but obviously no pain. And step 3, this is the crucial part. Take a deep breath in through your nose, hold that pressure, and then exhale super slowly through your mouth. Keep holding that steady pressure. Do you notice how that simple physical anchor of pressure in your hand helps pull your focus away from all the noise in your head and brings you right back into your body? That is the technique working in real time. Now, the magic number to remember here is 3. I highly suggest dedicating just 3 minutes a day to this practice. You could do a minute and a half on your left hand and a minute and a half on your right. 3 minutes is such a realistic amount of time to carve out of your day. It's totally long enough to shift your nervous system into that relaxed state, but it's short enough that you literally cannot use the excuse, "Oh, I don't have time for that." Let's take one last look at this visual. Seriously, burn this image into your memory. The next time you're feeling totally overwhelmed, or you just need a quick second to center yourself before tackling your traditional health routines, I want you to picture this hand. Put this micro exercise to work for you today. It's just a fantastic, undeniable reminder that you always have a tool for calm right at your fingertips, literally. And please keep this concept in mind. The absolute best daily habits are the ones you can actually stick to. You could have the most scientifically advanced, state-of-the-art health routine in the world, but if it's too complicated or too expensive or just too exhausting to do every single day, it's pretty much useless to you. Simple routines, like a quick 3-minute palm press, are effective for one big reason. Their simplicity makes them sustainable. Which brings us right to the golden rule of everyday well-being: consistency over intensity. You really don't need to do something perfectly for an hour straight to see real benefits. Doing one small, healthy action for just 3 minutes, but doing it every single day is going to give you massive compounding results over time. Those tiny, consistent actions, that's exactly how you build the foundation for real, lasting health. So I'll leave you with this one final thought for your own personal health journey. Are you going to commit to adding this super simple 3-minute palm technique to your daily routine starting today? Seriously, give it a try. See exactly how your body responds to that quick moment of mindful calm. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this explainer. If you found this helpful and you want more practical, everyday advice, follow for more real health tips. See you next time.